And November has arrived in the garden. It's a new chapter. I absolutely love the lighting this time of year. Now, I'm not a fan of the dark 4:30, 5 p.m, but the lighting is beautiful and there's still a bit of interest in the garden at the minute. We had a stormy end to October, so lots of leaves have fallen. So it is that time of year to make some leaf mulch, and I'm going to be doing some satisfying cleaning up. And this is also the first time I've been able to enjoy the garden without having to clean up any building equipment or recovering it from the renovations. So it's nice to be back outside on a sunny autumn day and just focusing on the plants itself and not building equipment. Fawn is sitting on the wheelie bin and I'm having a taste of the apples. I haven't tasted the red ones yet. These are beautiful. Also, sunshine. Now, years ago, I used to curse the leaves that would fall into my garden. But that's when I didn't know any better. Whereas now I know that you can mow them up, use them as mulch, and they're like free soil conditioner. So I don't curse them too much. Now, my tactic. So this is my rule for the leaves, and it's not going to be everyone's, but this is what I do. So if they're on the grass, I mow those, and then I just empty the lawnmower box into the flower beds. So I don't have to put anything in the compost. I literally just throw it directly onto the flower beds. And the reason why I mow it is because the leaves are then finely chopped, and then they just break down quicker, and it also looks prettier as well. And come springtime, they're pretty much disappeared into the soil. So then in springtime, I will pop on some fine bark mulch, or I'll do farmyard manure mulch as well. I'm really bad at remembering to condition my soil, so like feed the soil. I'm really bad at remembering to do that. So by doing things like this, whether it's mulching in spring with, farmyard manure or bark, and then using the leaves in autumn, it's like free conditioning. I'm putting things back into the soil. I'm also not too clean of a winter person. I don't really put the garden to bed, let's say. I will have a few jobs to do, like cutting back the dahlias and mulching them before the frost comes. And I do have to plant my tulips. But they're the kind of, like, tulips are forgiving. You can do them in December if you forget. Actually, the later the better with tulips, because they need the cold to get going. So if the leaves are on the grass, I mow, and then I pop them into a flower bed. And then the ones that are on walkways, now I am handheld. I'm using the sweeping brush, but I will whip out the leaf blower. For the first time, I think this year, people are like, girl, you need the leaf blower. I do have one, but I only whip it out for big jobs. So any leaves that are on the paths, because they become really slippy, I will I will blow or brush them onto the grass, and then I mow them to chop them up, and then I throw them into the flower beds. So this year so far, I seem to have a lot more leaves in the front garden. Since the trees in the back were cut, I don't have as many kind of blowing in my way in the back. I used to feel like I had loads in the back, but I was worried about people slipping the trick-or-treaters because there was a lot of leaves in my driveway. So I'm getting around to tackling them today. So I will sweep them onto the grass, and then I will cut them with the lawnmower. Now, my lawnmower is not great for this. I had a petrol one for years, and then it broke. There was no fixing it. And I went electric, and I regret it, not gonna lie. This lawnmower is fine if you have a small patch of grass, but it's not powerful enough for mulching my leaves. I miss my petrol one. So I mow them, they're nice and fine, and then I just pop them into a flower bed. So wherever there's a gap, I just mulch it, so a layer of the leaves on top of the soil. Now you can see my lawnmower is kind of struggling with these leaves. If this was my old one, I wouldn't have to tilt the mower up to do a pre-leaf cut and then put it down to collect them in the box. And also, you'll notice me going between the leaf blower and the brush. The blower is great when my battery is charged, but another downside to having things cordless is the batteries. So I have 2 of the stronger batteries for the mower and the blower. Mower and blower. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But what's frustrating is when they run out of juice. and they actually take a long time to charge. So I had to have a battery on charge, and then it'd be like a quarter charged and I'd use it for a little bit. So that's really annoying about things that are electric cordless. And honestly, sometimes people ask me for like a recommendation on my lawnmower, and if this broke, I wouldn't buy it again. I'd actually go back to petrol, which I know that sounds terrible because the environment. But the electric ones just don't have enough power in them and longevity. I find I can do the back garden, I get a few minutes into the front and the battery is dead, and then I have to stick the other one in. And I don't have a big garden, so if you do have anything bigger than mine, it's going to be a nightmare with batteries, sticking them in, and then you're waiting on them to charge. Now the leaf blower is really good. I would buy that again, but the same thing with the batteries is if you're using it for a long amount of time, it runs out quickly. And it always runs out when you're just getting to the finish and you're just coming to the end. Now I am being a good neighbour as well today. I'm going to sweep up the ones that are on the road outside my house. One, because they just look so messy and they make the road look dirty. And two, the council don't come around and sweep the road. I very rarely see that. So I've taken it upon myself to just look after my corner of the road. I don't own the road, but if the leaves are on my side, I shall sweep them up. Because you know when you drive home and like your driveway might be clean but outside of it is messy, and plus I also had weeds growing out of the wall, and this year I kept meaning to, I did de-weed it at the start of the year, and you'll remember that I painted the wall. So if you go back to April's videos, if you want to see some satisfying garden cleanups, I did a satisfying like painting a messy wall and my messy corners. So yeah, if you want to get your messy to clean fix, I have some videos for you. But I was meant to sow some origeron seeds, or even just put in some baby origeron plugs so that that would grow instead of the weeds. But I didn't do that. But remind me to do that for next year if I can just stick in the seeds, because they will grow in the cracks of the ground and I just think they look prettier than the weeds that are there. So that can be a job for spring. Please remind me. So I'm going to sweep up the leaves that's out on the path. There is kids that play at the end of the road, so I'm going to try and make it less slippy for them. Now I don't know why. I think it was because my leaf blower died, but that was good leaf that I swept up. But I actually put those into the brown bin, and I could have bagged them and done leaf mold. So leaf mold is when you get, ideally you can use a sack, but a plastic bag is good. You take lovely wet leaves, stick them in a bag, tie a knot, and just pierce it a few times for a few air holes. Stick it in a dark place. Leave it until summertime next year, or like springtime, late spring, early summer, and that will have fungused itself and turned into leaf mold. Someone asked me, what can you use any type of plastic bag? I've actually used before, you know, the compostable bags. They're like a type of plastic. I've used them and the bag didn't compost in the couple of months I had it. The bag was okay. I don't know how long actually the compostable bags take to compost. If you know, let me know in the comment section. But I have used those before for doing leaf molds. But I don't know why. Yeah, I think it was my leaf blower had died, so I couldn't blow it onto the grass to mow it. So I said, do you know what? This is just getting swept up and going into the brown bin. I think I was annoyed at this stage because my leaf blower had died and it was really good when it was going. So I had to go acoustic. And also, I have two things on my Christmas wish list this year. One is a new sweeping brush, because my regular viewers will know that mine broke not that long ago. And I love sweeping the path. It gives me joy and it's free exercise. And I also want to get like a dustpan and brush, but a garden one. A few people had said get one of the big scoops. They're great, but I feel like they're too big for me and my little hands. I just need something that's probably double the size of what I'm using. A big snow scoop would be too big for me. Something that, yeah, double the size of what I have. So that if, I don't think my brothers watch my YouTube channel, but if anyone else does, that's on my Christmas wish list. A lovely metal handheld dustpan and brush for the garden with a good strong brush and a good sweeping brush. So that's on my wish list for Christmas. Now, this plant I see from my living room window when I look out, and I swear to God, this wallflower, Erissimum, has been flowering all year and it has thrived on neglect. So if you too, and also this erigeron over here, still in flower, and we are now in November. But listen, Erissimum thrives on absolute neglect and has been giving me colour. It's a little pop of joy. Actually, there's a tiny little snail. This bug house has properly biodegraded into nature. The bottom thing has fallen off it, so I've just left it in here. But it is bugging. There is residents in the bug hotel, so I actually just put down some of the leaf clippings here. So if there's any little bugs, they can nest nicely in there. But yeah, I just thought I'd share this because I swear to God, I have not deadheaded it. And it just keeps flowering and getting big, thriving on neglect. The rest of the garden isn't really thriving on neglect. However, the Amelanchier has absolutely stunning leaves and they have just fallen. And the hydrangea, it's not Annabelle, it's another one, but that also has stunning leaves. So you can see the leaves over the wall. Sorry, the trees. Some of them are completely gone now because of the storm that we had. But this little tree here that I planted 10-11 years ago, and as a twig, and look at it now, the leaves are stunning, and it's a prunus, don't ask me which one, but it has this lovely leaf now. And then in February it's like an early flowering one, and I actually think they call it a winter flowering prunus because it flowers in February. But that would be stunning. It will be pink blossoms in February, March. And yeah, the leaves, that's the last of the trees there. I'm hoping they'll just fall into the flower beds. But yeah, the leaves. I do love these trees. They're not my trees. They're the borrowed landscape. But like, how beautiful are they? They just, yeah, they give me a bit of screening. Make me feel like I'm in the countryside when I'm in suburbia. I planted this for foliage, for cut flowers. I think it's a pittosporum. Is it a pittosporum? Hang on, and I can move back. Yeah, I think it is evergreen. And also it's right next to the living room window. So it will give me like a bit of colour. But yeah, I'm going to use this as a little filler. Then in the buckets here, thriving on neglect. Thriving on neglect. But actually, these have been unintentionally evergreenish. Yeah. Like there's nothing here with... what were these? Alpine ones. I need to actually see if they need to be cut back. They're not looking so fresh, but they were looking amazing. And this, I can't remember what this is, but I planted it back in February and it has flowers. You can see all of the buds on it, and I think it's another winter, spring, early spring flowering shrub, and I cannot wait. That looked amazing in spring. But this is another area. Look, we have a little flower. Hello, Jim. How pretty. Aww. Also, the muck is in the nails. This does be looking beautiful from early spring up until late summer, but this year I had some anemones that did not thrive. But then someone in the comment section said anemones can take like a year or two to settle in. But I have lots of ground cover here, which I love. Oh, there's a little wasp. Hello, my friend. Is it not too cold for you? Absolutely adore Brunner Jack Frost, and if you go back on the spring videos, this was stunning. And yeah, just looking back on all photos is great. Like, also these heucheras have spread out. So yeah, I have lots of lovely ground cover here. And then this viburnum, which I planted last year. Now what I'll do is I'll cut back the ivy around it just to get a bit of airflow in here, because it has got growth, but poor old ivy is clinging on. So I'll trim this, and lovely flower on this. So at least I have a bit of interest. Also my cyclamen coum. I think this one is cyclamen coum, this leaf. And then this one, I don't know what cyclamen this is, but this is just, yeah. I do love cyclamen for the leaves. I think the leaves are absolutely beautiful. And if it flowers, then that's a bonus. Oh no, this is a heuchera. Sorry. This is a heuchera that look like it may be DED. Now I need to take the ivy out actually. Not dead, just having a rest, waiting to come back. But I do have another cyclamen and the leaf is different on it. Oh yeah, see this one? That cyclamen I think is cyclamen coum, and this one I think is more the commercial one that you see in you see it in the this time of year. Now what are you? There's a lovely big, see this? I don't know what that is or who belongs to that, but we'll cover you over. Ladybug house. Don't know if there's anyone nesting in there, but we shall leave it there. I don't know if the camera picked up on that, but did you hear my knee? My knee just cracked as I got up. Oh, I need to take me cod liver oil. Usually Guinness is good lubricant for the bones, but obviously maybe not. Now, there is a bit of wind in this laneway, but here we are in the back, completely kind of gone asleep now. So I will do, you know what, I thought I was going to get more leaves today, but these still have to fall. And I could always bag some up from where the bees are, but I wanted to mulch these flower beds. So I wanted to cut back the dahlias and mulch the bed, but 2 of them are in flower there. Also, this nasturtium, giving me joy, self-seeder, got absolutely munched to death in late summer in August with the caterpillars, and it just came straight back. So now, as soon as cold weather comes, this will die. It doesn't like the frost, but I don't know, it just seeds itself around in this corner and it doesn't offend me. It's also really nice on pizza too. So the rest of the garden is, starting to go asleep, but not fully there. Oh, also, I wanted to show you. Remember back, and I was doing like the damage assessment for the garden, and all of this was like barren because of the builders walking on it. Well, look, I'm trying not to stand on it. Hang on. Whoop. The grass seed has taken. I just put down another little bit because this is a bit of a sunny spot. So even though it's cooler, it's November. November is not the month for grass seed, but I was surprised that some of it started to grow in the past week. So I'll try and find a before picture of what this looked like. But it was really damaged from the builders and it has slightly recovered. So here's where we are. Oh, I have a little sweet pea hanging on for dear life over there. And then I have to keep an eye on the temperature because I do have a lot of pelargoniums and geraniums down the back that are not frost hardy, and they're the ones I got at the rare and unusual plant sale. So yeah, I reckon another month-ish, not even month, because I notice the trees, I reckon we're on the home stretch when it comes to colour on the trees. Maybe another 2-3 weeks, but I have noticed some of them with the wind we've had the past few days. There was like a little bit of a storm and a lot has fallen. So I'm going to enjoy this colour while I can. The cats are looking for their lunch. I'm like that. They had breakfast, they have treats, but they know their routine. And I came in to put my battery on charge and they were looking at me as if to say, you forgot our lunch. And I was like, I didn't forget. I just got carried away with the time. So I have to feed the babies and I'll be back. Today was actually one of the first days that I've been out in the garden. And I looked back this way on the house and I was like, oh, the doors. So I'll show you. Now, I'm not going to lie, I did get like a teeny bit emotional because this was the first time I saw, the doors where there hasn't been like builders and benches and buckets and just a little chrysanthemum there and the hydrangea. And I was like, oh my God, like not that I don't come down to the end of the garden, but it's not often I do. And yeah, I remember this, like even you guys will remember this in summertime when it was literally just a window and a door, and it wasn't, yeah, but I basically, this was what I had in my head, and it's happened, and I'm so excited for like spring. So down in the bucket section where things come to die, the pot and bucket section. So yeah, I don't want to sound too smushy, but when I was, yeah, looking back, I got a little bit choked up because I was like, oh my God, it was the first time that I could actually just like pause, and there wasn't like, oh, I have to move that bucket and seed and, you know, and I just was like, oh, it's done. I still have no floor, but when I look back on it, I was like, that's what I had in my head, and it's done. So yeah, little bit totsy and moshy. So yeah, that's all I kind of got up to today. Last night I had one of the most loveliest, I'm very sentimental today. I lit a fire and Gardener's World was on, and it was one of those episodes, which is the reason why I watch it. It was Monty Don in his garden, and absolutely no shade to any of the other presenters because I am big fans of them. But one of the reasons why I started watching Gardener's World was because of like Monty Don's relaxing, unintentional ASMR voice, his garden, and his pace. And yeah, I was like, because I had missed a couple of episodes, but I just feel like this year when I go to watch Gardener's World, it's either cancelled because of some sport, you're in someone else's garden, and no shade to them because it is nice, those episodes, but I'm like, I want to be in Monty's garden, like those episodes. So yeah, I was watching it last night, and for the first time I was able to kind of get back into the garden excitement, because also my legs are going, I am squatting right now. My neighbours are going to be like, what is she doing? Yeah, it was the first time I got like excited for, you know, the garden again, because obviously I've been preoccupied with the house. So I needed this like vitamin D day. And in fairness, I'm only out about 2.5, 3 hours. Look at Bjug. Can you see Bjug? She's hanging on to my every word. Come over, my friend. Come over. Is she? No, she's not coming over. I'm going to stand up. I can feel the blood rushing back to my legs. Hang on, Miss Bjug. Miss Bjuggy, how are you? Do you want to say hello to... Oh, no. Miss Bjug, do you want to say hello to your people? There was actually lots of comments complimenting Bjug's whiskers. Yes. Miss Bjuggy, show people your whiskers. She was like, whiskers cost extra. Yeah, it was the first day today in a long time where I've been like, cats in the garden, having a potter, it's lovely and quiet, and then I come along and make noise. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.